guys, it's FallenDice, and welcome to episode 40 of FallenDice Plays Better Than Buildcraft. And yeah, here is the Midas Touch. Hope you enjoyed that little uh, display at the beginning showing you this thing in action. Um, Figured I'd show you too the craziness. Like when I turn this thing on, it's kind of ridiculous. So we'll go ahead and hit the start. And instantly we just start getting and then it starts to slow down like a little bit, but after a while it kind of starts to even out, and I have so much gold right now it's not even funny. I did have one weird thing though. I'll show you over here. There's Oops, just back it up. There's one spot over there, and there it is again. That it just doesn't seem to want to go in if it lands on that one exact hopper. Uh, Everywhere else does well. And I tried this thing out too on the 3.72 thing, or update, and I was getting Smite 2 gold swords and gold helmets and all kinds of cool stuff. So yeah, this thing really works. So yeah, I'm excited about it. And let me show you some things first. Over here, I left this thing running for about 5 hours yesterday. I got it all completed, and then I had to go to work. So when I got up in the morning, I'd left the builder going to finish up the final layer, and it's big. It's 24 layers. So what I ended up doing was I built the first 4 layers by hand. I kind of got into a groove. I was talking with some of the guys on Buildcraft and Mumble. I wish you would stop spawning there. Yeah, that's something else. But yeah, I was talking to them, so I just kind of got in a groove. They were talking to me about some of the mechanics of the mob farms and some of the things that I had done wrong on the previous episode, which had got me a little down. I have to admit that when I finished that episode, I was kind of a little distraught, thinking that maybe this thing wasn't going to work. I got like a nice little dry spell here. It's weird. It picks back up. It just kind of comes and goes. I guess it's just normal spawning. Yeah. But anyway, part of the problem is there's a minimum distance and a maximum distance. Now, I understood the maximum distance. You know, you got to be within 100 and some blocks, or I don't know the exact numbers, but I know that if I were to go all the way to the other side of the Nether, obviously this thing would not work. What I didn't understand is the minimum 2. If you are within 24 blocks of an area, they won't spawn. So when I built that first little area there and I stood up there watching and nothing happened, it was because I was too close. And a couple people told me that in the comments, as well as I even had gotten on the Better Than Wolves forum just to kind of question if there was some things about this that maybe I wasn't aware of. And that was some of the things that had come out too close. I did, although, find out something that I was really, really happy about, and that is this. I have no more candy cane. The pressure plates don't count as a block. Apparently they count as like a block above it, an air block. So they can still spawn inside the 2-block space. It's also still considered to be netherrack, so they can spawn on these, which meant I got to get full use of every single space here. So we're talking 12 on each side. So there's 24 here, 48, 72, 96. So each layer's got 96, and like I said, I have 24 layers. So I've got a ton of spawning spaces. Like I said, this thing's kind of ridiculous. But yeah, so I built the first 4, made a blueprint, had the builder build it. So then I had 8, made a blueprint of the 8, threw that together, ended up with 16, and then I just did the 16. I did 8 again. Yeah, 16, and yep, the 8. And it basically takes it all the way to the ceiling. So yeah, left that thing running. Oh, shoot, I was in the middle about to show something. Came back, and yeah, that's what we got here in just one chest. So like I said, right now each one of these is just going into the 1. So times 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 stacks of nuggets. So we're talking about 20 stacks of nuggets, which means at least 2.5 stacks, a little less than 2.5 stacks of gold ingots. So this thing's definitely working. And like I said, in addition to that, I'm going to be getting the gold weapons and armor, which I can melt down for gold as well. Um, more than enough rotten flesh to feed my wolves forever. And experience. That's the other good part. I will be collecting experience in these bad boys and then just running down to collect it. So I am very, very, very happy with how this thing turned out. It is really cool, really awesome. Um, Now my next thing, and I'm going to have to get rid of these. As much as it's nice to be able to just kind of come in and out, I'm going to have to manually open these doors because my next project is going to be an elevator. I have a, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. So say I thought it was a 5 by 5 by 5, yeah, 5 by 5. So 5 by 5, which means I'm going to need to have 4 ropes, 4 pulleys, 4 anchors, and I want this thing to do 2 things. Number 1, and I'm going to have to look underneath to find out if I can even go down here. Oops, sorry. 1 being to take us up to lava level, over to our little door thing over there. We'll put another set of doors in here at that next level, so I won't have to come all the way down those stairs. Although, honestly, that's really the whole reason for being down here, is to come into this area. But I will, however, be able to ride it all the way up to the top and just kind of glance through. That was kind of like the idea I was having for this. Instead of having a ladder down the middle, it'd be cool to have a nice big elevator. So I could come down here, hit the button wherever I decide to put the button, and then it'll just take me all the way up to the top. Actually, now that I think about it, because I was starting to think that maybe there wasn't a reason for this at all, because honestly, just to get from there to here, that's an awful lot of extreme engineering of what we're going to have to go through, because I haven't begun to talk about the plans for it. But, however, if I say wanted to at least bring it up to, we'll call it maybe about this level. Let's see where we are here. Oh, don't fall, please don't fall. Okay. And the thing is I can now get rid of this. This section here, if you look, I also took out the vines and the buttons, because they actually were anti-beneficial. I actually even had some getting kind of bottlenecked, and they were catching on inside there, and they were kind of getting stuck. So I got rid of that, so now they just fall straight through, because I don't need to have them. I haven't had any issues with anybody falling down and not dying, so we're good to go on that. So I can kind of get rid of this area, and then at this height, I'm trying to see where we are in respect to the, I think we're still below the first one. But what I can do is I can make this the stop level, because my goal is to have 2 stop points here and the top, and then of course you have the bottom. So when you can basically get into here right up to this point, and this is going to be the level at which we have our pathways going between the 4 of our warehouses. So we will have a reason to get here. So basically from inside we can kind of take the walks out into here. I think these will all, I'll figure out some way, because I can't come in the middle here because that's where the drop is. But we'll figure out a way and have an entrance on the corners or something to get onto the elevator. And then of course we can decide to either take it all the way up to the top to look at the mob trap, or take it to the bottom. And then of course at this point and at the top I'm going to need some block dispensers, some detector blocks to stop it. And man, I'm looking at this and I'm realizing actually that's not going to work because I still haven't wired up the stop for this yet. Talking about running up that redstone up the corners so I can basically power every single one of these at once and shut the system off. Although now that I'm at 24 levels, 12, that's quite a few stacks of redstone in addition to what's already been used for the repeaters already. I think I may just decide not to do that. I need to set up another quarry again because I've actually started to dwindle my my redstone supplies. Although, then again, I remember I have the ability to turn the gold nuggets and hellfire, concentrated hellfire, into redstone. So I really don't have a problem with redstone. I need to get on that. So then the other thing is going to be okay, space for that. You know what? I think I may just have to hold off for now on the elevator idea, just because I think I do have some other things that I need to do. Because like I said, I need to basically run vertical wiring all the way up the top. That's the thing though. Even whether it's the vertical wiring or the elevator, I'm not sure if I want to do that because I like how this looks. I like how clean it looks. It really does look good, and it looks good the way it is. Alright, so we're not going to do an elevator for now. I do need to do some kind of storage separation system though. And I need to come up with a centralized storage area. Although I could still do, no, I will do something to centralize because I can still run each one of these down underneath. From underneath I can basically run all my wiring again, all my ugliness underneath, and have it set up so we can have just the area we want to collect stuff in. So we'll have all of the gold nuggets go into a certain set of chests, all of the zombie flesh into another, and then anything else, which will be our items. And the reason I'm not going to set it up to automatically route, like say swords or helmets, is because they come with random enchants as well. So I think that's pretty much the best we're going to be able to do is just to have what's left over go into one set of chests by itself. Okay. Alright. Well, I'm still kind of going through where we are. And like I said at the end of last episode, the reason I decided to finish this up off camera was I think I'd spent quite a bit of time already on the on this project on the farm. And the second part was I didn't know if it was going to work actually as I started this because I left off really kind of concerned and nervous. So, oh man, I love how this looks. This probably the coolest farm I've ever designed or built. Just the cross section of it, how clean the collection area is. You know, you got all the powered hoppers and the powered pipes. I really do like this. This I'm trying to figure out how to stop the gas from spawning. I thought said it needed to have a 5x5 flat space. So I put the initial ones in, and I still ended up with a room of 4 of them inside here. So then I thought maybe it was that wasn't it. So I put more in between them, and I still had some spawning. So then the other thing was it said non-transparent, so I'm trying something else over here. I thought maybe the problem is it was counting the floor, because the floor technically was flat and it was non-transparent, so even if there was something on top of it, maybe I don't know. So I dug down and put the glass in, so there's nowhere on this floor where there's a 5x5 space. So I'm curious to see if they spawn in here. But as you can see, I also replaced all my cobble. I had a bit of time where I really wasn't able to record, So we made it so things look a little cooler. And if you look up there as well, you're going to see what looks like snow-covered hills. And I found out another one of the reasons why it wasn't doing so well is my perimeter wasn't big enough. And honestly, when the guy in there said I needed to go like 200 blocks out from the center, I'm like, wow, that's like 400 blocks of slabs. Uh, uh, and I didn't have to go that far. But even at that point, I started, I just didn't have I was still depressed. Well, not depressed, but I was still a little dismayed about whether or not this was going to work and whether doing that was even going to accomplish anything. And then I remembered there's this cool little feature for Better Than Wolves called, oh man, I just realized this would be a bad place to get hit by ghast. Ah! Oh man, I have to rethink my choice in floors. um, yeah, cement. So, yeah, I basically cemented up the surrounding areas. It was so much easier than using half slabs. You know, it spreads and it really saved me a lot of time. So I used that to kind of do that. I also was having gas spawning inside of here. That scared me, so I added the half slabs down here, and the other up here I did the same thing. So I haven't had any gas spawn inside here since then. So far so good. So, there we go. See, he's in there, and that's the one. And I'll show you right now. That's the one that I was just in that had the blocks everywhere. Now, however, I have not seen anything spawn in the one with the glass blocks yet. So I'm holding out hope. If that turns out to be the way of solving this problem, I will do that. Oh crap. What am I doing? Okay. I need to go in armed. Where are you, little man? There we go. Now, this would make for a great little ghast farm. And by ghast farm, I mean shooting gallery. Make a big enough room. Did he blow up any glass? I'm sure he did. Yeah, he did. Don't be spawning while I'm in here. Yeah, I may still have some issues with this. What the... Did I not reach it? There we go. Okay, good. Like I said, though, I haven't seen any spawn over here yet. And I might be okay with just the way things are right now with the glass, just because as I get more and more of this built, I have no reason to be outside of the glass. So at this point, they can't see me, which is odd because it's glass and you can see right through it. But they don't shoot at me from behind the glass. So, yeah. So now I got to decide. That's the next thing. Do I want to have access from up above where those walkways are going to connect these into here? And I'm thinking I don't, but what I may end up doing is maybe tunnel from the sides up into each one of these. So through the lava, give myself access into here without really having to go outside. We'll see. Yes, we'll see. Decisions. No, dang it. I really have to figure out what the rules are for spawning, because the wiki was very specific, and they're able to spawn inside those rooms without any issues. My next thing, because those weren't transparent blocks, and the transparent blocks were under the floor, and I'm not having problems in here. Maybe I'll get some half slabs, try half slabs in one of these. I'm just going to keep trying different things until I find a way to keep things from spawning. Alright, so we're gonna try this out. I just threw a stack of half slabs here on the floor. See if, because these are a transparent block, if this is enough to stop it, because it seems to be stopping it down there unless I've just been really lucky. So I definitely want something that's going to work. But I also came up, I think, with what my plan is going to be for today. And that is I want more redstone. So I need to come up with a good way of, yeah, producing a ton of redstone. So I think we're going to be definitely, I don't know if I want to do it down here or up here. Again, I'm going to try and stay as far away from doing things to mess up the symmetry and how the look of it is down there. And it doesn't need to be as big of a project as to be up here, which I have such these big rooms. I haven't really decided how exactly I want to do this yet. But I do have an idea, first of all, of a better way of harvesting all my ground netherrack. So that is what my next problem is, or not my next problem, my next thing to do is, because if you know, like the one that I did up in my pottery room uses water, and obviously I can't do that here, and that was the one issue I really have having to do with, you know, a full-blown operation, is the setup I have up there. And actually, let's head up there real fast, and then I'll pick up the conversation back there. Alright, so we're back up here, and this is kind of what I had started to come up with. And I had initially tried to make, like, you know, something along this lines earlier, but we tried doing like the obsidian pipe up here to collect it all, you know, powered obsidian pipe, and anything that landed on the outside didn't get collected. So that made things less than optimal. But I'm thinking now, if I set something up like this, again, where under here is my, here, I'll dig it up to show you. Here is my powered obsidian pipe. So basically, and I think I have it turned off right now, but if it's on, then of course anything that drops in this area here will get sucked in. The rest of the items will fall into these hoppers. And what my idea is if I do this in a sunken down room, that way I could have, just kind of like what it is right here, I could have axles going into these from the side, from that side, and then the last three from here and over there. Have it all interconnected into one big setup. Like, it's going to be a mess underneath, which is why I probably end up having to don or quaff some of this fire resistance potion, and we'll have to go under the lava, and make a larger room under there, or do some kind of platforming. Maybe we'll have a walkway up into another room, and I can make myself a redstone room. That I like that. Just so we can have all this hidden. And then the reason why we want to power these hoppers is we'll have pipe underneath them. And actually, I don't know if it's an intake pipe, it still needs to be powered. So I have my choice of either an engine. With this many hoppers, don't want to go that route. So gearboxes and axles, that's a lot easier. So I can basically have a pipe connected to the bottom, and when these get powered, they'll take whatever's in them and put them into the pipe system, and we can then route it all the way over to wherever we have our crucible, or even just into, like, say, like what we have over here. One of these, yeah, there we go. Send all of our ground netherrack into a chest or something. The second part is I'm going to have to make a another of my my Renevos ground nether, or what the heck, soul sucking urn contraption. I'm gonna need to do that because I need to get the souls out of the netherrack to turn this into hellfire, and then into concentrated hellfire. So do I? Even if I don't have it, I need to check that out. Because I think actually, honestly, whoa. Hey man, nobody invited you. Yeah, I think actually I don't quite have to have the solar, and or an urn in it. I just need to have a powered hopper with or soul sand in it, and then I can keep just producing that way. All right. Then I would still need some way to harvest the hellfire, because it's not all going to fall off. It's going to end up gathering on top of that. So I need to have like a powered obsidian pipe nearby to then suck the hellfire that drops on. It gets more and more complicated, which is why I'm kind of giddy and I like it. All right. Well, you know what? As we do with all of our other fun, complicated projects, let's go to creative and see if we can work a way to make this thing work. So I'll see you guys there. All right. So let's kind of give this a shot here. I'm going to try for the start to go with just standard standard low friction pipes. And then on top of that, we'll stick our millstones. Actually, dar. Top of there, we'll stick our axles, because we're going to be running axles, and I'll probably do that part off camera, but it's going to go, I've already got some power set up. I think that's the closest one. Yeah. Well, there, one of the two. Yeah. And then, is that here? Yeah, I think there. Now, this was the point where we had our stone slabs. Yeah. You were like that. Trying to recreate this as best as possible. Alright. And of course we have these. And that part of the wall will disappear. It was just the easiest to do this like this. Okay, so here's what we're going to end up having. Anything that lands in here, and I didn't go down. On the other one, it was actually down a little bit lower, so this kind of, I think this will look a little bit better anyway. And then, of course, we'll, or some soul sand. Let's see, right there. Yes, I know, I can shift click. I don't know why I didn't shift click. Yeah, I do like how that looks. Okay, so that'll be like that. So this will take care of all of our drops, and we'll end up probably leaving this here. And then, like I said, then over here. And technically I only need those ones. All of you. And again, these ones. I hate how that happens. And I don't have an empty hand. Alright, there we go. There we go. Alright, you know what? Let me do this real fast. I'll be right back. Alright, so power is now run. Over to here. Goes up into our millstones in a roundabout way. And then it also through here. You'll see we get those three, those 5, those 5. So that's all the hoppers are now powered, and so are the millstones. If we come down here, this could be interesting. I don't like that, but anyway, we need to only need one thing of fuel. I'm not planning on running it for very long. I just need to know that it works. There we go. So there's our fuel. Stick that in there, and then we still need to power you, which I think we will do. this. Okay, there we go. Then all I gotta do is put a switch on here and you should start pumping. Alright, good. Okay, so that means that our hoppers are powered, so they should be dropping their items into the piping system. And also our obsidian pipe is piping. So now I need a bunch of netherrack. We can go ahead and test this thing now. Since it's all powered, oops, come on. Since it's all powered, we will convert our netherrack into ground netherrack, and then it should actually be picked up regardless of where it lands. And then we'll be, if that's the case, then I can pretty much start to kind of plan on how we want to do this in our regular world. Alright, so he... Okay, gotcha. Why are you not moving? Thought you were supposed to at least be able to get those. Uh-oh. You dropped on the floor. Alright, so we'll try this out again. And I'd forgotten at the beginning, I thought that it might require a transport intake, and that popped on there like that. So I'm thinking that's probably what it was, that it couldn't go into the pipe, so it just basically fell through the powered hoppers. So we'll go ahead and start it up again and see what happens. The other problem I had with this was I couldn't just go straight to with the filters, and I'd forgotten about that part. And the reason for that is I would need something to suck the items from on top of the hoppers, because once it went through, they basically they stayed on top, and it was the what the heck? It was the helfire, and that was on top of here. I would need like obsidians all over the place to be able to collect it. Like maybe one there, one. Ooh, that might be easier. I keep coming up with new ideas on how to try and make this work. I'm gonna get there. I swear I'm gonna get there. That's a ground netherrack. Okay, so this doesn't appear to be working. I got one that actually landed in there, but these other ones, you definitely aren't getting... Oh, because you're not turned on. At least for that part I can do that. But again, these ones, I think for the intake pipes to work, that they have to actually be powered. And that's why I think we'll just, instead of having it like this, we'll just use the four corners. Man. Alright, let me do some more tweaking, I'll be right back. Alright, I said we'd figure this out eventually, and I am a stubborn man. I can get rid of these now. Alright, so first off, that center thing wasn't working anyway, so I put the blocks up so that we don't have any drops over there. What that also allowed us to do, run up a gearbox right in the middle, and allowed us to power the center ones from the middle. Because of that, we were able to place a obsidian pipe in each one of these areas, and it reaches 3 blocks. So these 4 pipes reach every single space here, and technically they could actually get all of the spaces, but they don't need to. I mean, I could probably put like a half block or something if I wanted to, but and they do it quick enough that they actually will suck it in as a ground netherrack. I put filters in, so we're about to try this right now. We'll flip the switch again. We should start getting helfire dust, because all these items should be dropping. Oh, okay. So I think that's hellfire dust. But are we getting stuff dropping down? I also basically blocked everything up because I didn't want stuff falling through. So from the looks of things, we should be getting hellfire dust, I think. It's still falling through. Anyway, well, let's flip the switch to turn this on. And I did my normal gate system. Power send red, no blue send red, and all the engines, if they go red, will send the blue power. So the question now is, obviously we're getting the ground netherrack. As soon as it pops out, they go ahead and suck it in. Did we get any hellfire dust? I don't know. We'll see. So far, all I see is ground netherrack. And it would have been nice if I could have got myself the ground netherrack. But the other thing that actually kind of comes in handy with this is, since that I'm not able to get the ground netherrack, and I can still set up another system for that, I don't need any of these gearboxes now. That simplified this even more. So let me tear this down apart, and I'm going to show you the condensed, much simpler version. And this is probably what I'm going to end up creating back at the in the nether. So I will be right back. Alright, and here we are. No hoppers necessary. This is a full nether happy, better than Buildcraft netherrack milling facility. So basically we use the cobblestone pipe to run power to all 4 engines, and I could have put a switch at each one, but no one wants to manually power 4 engines. Bounce, bounce. And I kind of stumbled upon this because when the engine was behind it, it didn't want to pick the things up underneath it. So by making it in the horizontal here, it picks everything up. Now the X here isn't necessary anymore. I got rid of the hoppers from the middle. So basically this setup will take anything at all here. The only reason why I was doing that is I just think it kind of looks cool having the X in the middle. It just adds something to the look and the design of it. And I might even, well, this will be the room size. Where the piping is, that'll be walls. So you basically will kind of walk in and just see like a little bit there. And I may end up even, say, putting half slabs or something. I mean, you can even build over it. Pretty much do whatever we want here. But the mill drops the stuff outside. They suck it up. Got the directional pipe and everything, routing it over into here. So all that work, and that's pretty simple actually. So we'll get a thing going. Go ahead and turn on our engines. Come up so we can see everything. And there she goes. It hardly even has time. I mean, you can't even see the stuff dropping. It's just basically getting sucked up into the pipes. I think I have. Seems to all be going into the one. Yep, they're definitely getting sucked in. And nothing on the bottom. It's all solid wall inside there. Other than underneath there where the axle goes into the actual millstone, but everything else is solid. And that means we probably should have some decent numbers coming over here. Yep, there we go. It's all coming through. Can see them coming over here. So yeah, this definitely will work. And what I can then do is, you know what? I'm going to do that. Alright, I'll be right back. I just kind of had another idea of how I can finish this and actually fully automate the process here. Well, at least this part of the process, so I'll be right back. Alright, so we're trying out the next thing. Took the power from our cobblestone pipe into here, and this is going to catch anything that lands over here. All of our drops coming through here are going to come into this, drop down onto this powered hopper with a soul sand filter. So each one of these that drop on it should turn into a hellfire dust, and then be picked up by the cobblestone and dropped over here. Should be, but it looks like that may still be a ground netherrack, and it is. I think it picks it up too fast, so it picks it up before it has a chance to get converted. And it does appear to be so. So this one might have to become manual. So for now, I'm going to put you there, and we're going to give a switch to this. And then we'll, see, we got our dust falling over there now. So what we may have to do is we'll have to let this thing run for a while. And then once we got quite a few of them on the ground, then we can just go ahead and flip the switch to collect them all. That could work, yeah, because it looks like it's working pretty good here. All these that are dropping down are instantly being converted into helfire dust. And then, are you not powered? You should be powered. Oh, you're not. No, you are. What the heck am I doing? Alright, you came from up there. You should all be powered. Why weren't you powered? Alright, let me work on this just a little bit more. But that should have been powered. So, alright, I'll be right back. Alright, so, actually it's pretty obvious what happened. This switch here is meant to power this gate, which is what powers all my engines. Unfortunately, it was also right next to the gearbox that was powering over there. So I just kept it underground a little bit longer and then over to there. So now she's powered. So now we can let, and I'm going to watch it again just to make sure. But, yeah, so far no ground netherrack because I hadn't had a chance to flip our switch yet. But, alright, there we go. Poof. And actually, I could probably almost even make it a button, because it seems like it's pretty quick, and I think that might have less of the stored. Really? Really? Alright, one last try. And I found out what the issue was. I still was coming up over by that gate there, and that gate does send out a redstone power to power the engine. So let me turn this thing on quickly before my engines go red so we can actually see this in demonstration. But we'll go ahead once again, fire this bad boy up. How am I doing on netherrack? See if I need to refill it yet. So far, no. All I want is at least a minimum of 8. That's all I care about. Now, the cool part about this system and how this is working is I can actually, I think, in my main world, set this up as a fully automatic solar bottler. Because if I have the normal solar setup at the bottom here, you know, with the block dispenser and the block detector, and when the or buddy block, however we do it, but when the solar is filled and drops off, it detects it, sends a signal, which puts another one in. We have a obsidian pipe underneath to catch the one that drops. While this thing's running, it'll just keep going and keep making soul urns until it runs out of regular urns. And I'm not worried about losing ground netherrack or hellfire because I have so much in the chest. So I could, man, this I like. This has some really interesting possibilities. Besides the fact that it looks cool. Alright, yeah, I've definitely used up quite a bit of time on this project here. So we'll have to save building this for our next episode. But yeah, this is gonna be cool. So let me go ahead and, did I already turn this off? No, I hadn't. Okay, turn it off. I don't want anything else running. We'll go ahead and flip this so we can suck all those back in. Alright. And what I can do too is I can kind of like I normally like to do, is I'll make myself a nice little control room with, you know, buttons attached to T flip-flops so I can control it all from one spot here. But yep, this is absolutely 180 degrees the opposite of what I thought I was going to be doing for this episode, but actually I think I definitely came up with something really cool. So, yeah. All right, well, anyway, that is that is a wrap. We will call this an episode here. Um, and then we'll continue on with our project here in the next episode. So, hope you guys enjoyed this. A lot of creation and ideas and coming up with stuff over here. But again, I do like doing that on camera. I think that's kind of the fun part about seeing how it's created. Where I started from to where this ended up is so different, but it's cool. So anyway, thanks guys for watching, and I will see you next time.